What's up guys, my name is Jeremy with thewarriorsolution.com. In this video we're going to be comparing the ProEars HTBT in-ear hearing protection and the AXIL GS Extreme 1.0 hearing protection. So in the interest of full disclosure and just keeping you informed on what's going on, I am affiliated with both of these brands and I did not pay for either one of these headsets. I did a review on the AXIL GS Extreme 1.0 version previously. That was with a different headset than this one. This is again a 1.0, but it is a different one than the one that I initially reviewed. My review is not positive overall. I did not like them. I thought there was a lot of issues with them. AXIL does have a new 2.0 version of the GS Extreme. Supposedly they've addressed a lot of the issues that I brought up in my initial review video. I have not tested the 2.0 version, so I can't say whether or not that's true. But just so you know, this is the older 1.0 version and the ProEars HTBT in-ear hearing protection. ProEars, for the most part, makes all of their stuff in the USA. This particular headset is made in China, and then these are also made in China. So let's go with the AXILs because I haven't worn them in quite a while. So both of them come with, padded storage cases. The AXILs are a little bit smaller than the ProEars, probably by about half-ish, but they both come with cases, extra little nubbins for your ears, manuals, all that good stuff. So the AXIL GS Extremes here, we have in-ear buds with two little dangly bits on the wire itself and then a wire that goes behind your head. They are marked R and L. The side with the AXIL logo is the right, so I'll throw that behind my head and get these into my ears. Alrighty, so with no sound amplification on at all, obviously they do cut sound like they should. They are hearing protection after all. They do feel pretty comfy, I think, overall. The wire going over my ear is not a big deal. The biggest issue that I have as far as the fit and feel of these is that the wire in the back, this dangly ponytail bit here, I hate that. Like, I don't like it. The reasons are if I'm wearing a sling or body armor or literally anything in the back that's interacting with my shoulders, as I move, lift a rifle, squat, whatever, that stupid dangly wiring thing is going to get caught and probably pull the earbuds out of my ears, breaking the seal and potentially causing hearing damage. In my previous video on these, I did actually shoot underneath a vehicle with them on. As I turned my head horizontal, the earbud did come out of my ear slightly and it was rather uncomfortable. So with this ponytail thing, there is a way to tighten it up a little bit, but it's still this stupid dangly ponytail wiry, don't like it. Switching on the sound amplification and turning up the volume. Okay, so turning up the volume to maximum, my voice sounds awful. Turning it down a bit. One thing to note though, the wind has picked up quite a bit. It's probably about 15-ish miles an hour now. If I look directly into the wind, I do get a little bit of wind noise, but not terribly bad. But it's definitely picking up wind noise for sure. But in terms of like how my voice sounds, it's very distorted and it sounds like it's been processed quite a bit. I'm not really sure how to describe it other than if you took a normal sound, chopped it up into little pieces, and then smushed them together and turned the volume up really loud. That's kind of what it sounds like, my own voice anyway. In terms of amplification around me, I mean, I hear the wind. There's not really a whole lot of stuff going on. I'm not hearing birds and things like that, but that's not to say that the amplification doesn't work. There's just not a lot going on for me to hear at the moment. So my wife is now behind the camera river dancing. And I can hear that clearly. So there's that. But yeah, the main issue, the two main issues that I had or have with the AXIL GS Extreme 1.0 version is the dangly wire ponytail thing in the back, and the amplification sound quality is kind of poop. So there is my reunion with the AXIL GS Extremes. Did not miss these. ProEar Stealth 28 HTBT, and this is what they look like. So we have basically a central control unit which goes on the back of your head, and then a little bit of a spring tension in the wire, and then the earpieces themselves. So obviously the main difference between these and the AXILs are the fact that when you put these on, that main control piece actually sits kind of right at the back of your head, and it stays there. It doesn't dangle down and get all tangled up in your slings or your plate carriers or whatever you happen to be running. So it is literally just right there, and it's actually held in place pretty snugly. It's not uncomfortable at all. It doesn't feel like it's, you know, squishing my head or anything, but it definitely is a lot more secure than the AXIL muffs. So this has 3 different levels of sound amplification, and now I have it turned all the way up to the highest level like I did with the AXILs. So my voice sounds pretty close to normal. There is a little bit of distortion. The main difference is that it doesn't crank the volume up to 11 and then chop it up in a blender and feed it back to you. It sounds almost normal, definitely usable, and just a lot more clear than the AXIL. So built onto the back of this control unit that's on the back of my head, there is a little bit of a cushion. The shape of it is essentially the same as the shape of my head. It kind of fits, if you run your hand down the back of your head, it fits right into the little groove where your head bone is connected to your neck bone. So in terms of like staying in place and not moving around, the ProEars Stealth 28 is definitely, stop laughing at me, this is serious. All right, lock it up, this is serious. Okay, so the ProEars Stealth 28, I definitely approve these over the AXIL GS Extreme 1.0s. Again, have not tested the 2.0s, have no idea if they're good or not. We'll see. But ProEars versus AXIL 1.0 GS Extreme, definitely go with ProEars. The wind noise, there's a little bit of wind noise, but it's pretty minimal, very minimal, definitely usable. Again, I have the amplification all the way up to level 3, and the wind noise is just a very minor, occasional little rumble that is essentially completely ignorable and a non-issue almost. And again, the wind is probably 12 to 15 miles an hour coming from that direction. So yeah, wind noise, not an issue at all with these. I have worn these quite a bit for yard work, mowing my lawn. I haven't spent a whole lot of time shooting with them, mainly because I've been busy working on other stuff, and you know, ammo is now priceless and whatever. But anyway, they work great for just general, you know, hearing protection needs like mowing your lawn, weed eating, you know, whatever you might need ear pro for. And then obviously for shooting, I did come out today and tinker around a little bit with some steel and 9mm, and obviously didn't have any issues at all. They definitely cut off when they needed to turn off and then sounded normal when they needed to be normal. So definitely no complaints with the processing speed or the ability of the unit to turn off sound amplification versus leaving it on. ProEars Stealth 28 HTBT versus AXIL GS Extreme 1.0, definitely a win for the ProEars. The sound quality is probably about a 8.5-ish out of 10 as far as, you know, distortion and quality of audio and things like that coming in. Amplification wise, it sounds like pretty close to normal. I don't really feel like it's amplifying sound. It sounds more like, well, maybe like a 2 out of 10 from normal. Like if normal's here, they're like, whoop, just a smidge more. But the biggest difference though between these and those is the fact that these are like rock solid in place in my ears, and you know, with the control unit right at the back of my head, it is not going anywhere. Like I feel like I could run an obstacle course and these would stay exactly where they are, not move around and not be an issue. Versus those, that stupid ponytail would get hung up on something and I would end up dangling from my ears off of some high obstacle. So there's that. Yeah, that is going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you would like to purchase a set of these Pro Ears Stealth 28 HTBT in-ear earbuds, link in the description. There's also a link for the AXILs if you want to test those out. I'm also going to link to the 2.0 version. I have not tested them. Again, I cannot say if they have fixed all the issues. I do know that they have essentially the same design as far as the dangly ponytail. So I know that's the same, but in terms of audio quality, you know, over processing, over amplifying sound, I don't know how that sounds now. But from my experience with now 2 sets of AXIL GS Extremes and this 1 set of Pro Ears, I would definitely recommend Pro Ears over the AXILs. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.